guy, there's like closet, that's in a huge spot.
Smart paintball, let's go.
Playing for Mike, the experience it's different than anything you've played for before. It's very demanding. He demands a lot out of you guys, so it brings the best out of every player on the field. If you're not out there giving 100%, then you're going to hear about it, so you have to step up. There's a level required to play for Mike, and if you don't got it, you don't got it.
Having Mike as a coach is really intense, but he'll get the best out of you.
Having Mike Quittman as a coach is amazing. He's a great coach, very knowledgeable. I learn something new from him every time.
I'm Mike Quittman, coach of San Diego Aftermath, president of the West Coast Paintball Players League, and also CEO of APX Paintball. I brought Aftermath back, when it ended last time, it was simply because a lot of the players had other commitments in life. We had, I believe back then I was coaching Dynasty, and we had our team in Division I, and a lot of the guys, Heath had kids, Mike Robles, Huey, just said, he had his kids. Just got to a point where a lot of the guys just didn't have the same intensity for it. And it was better to just step away. I don't think we ever quit with Aftermath. It was just, guys like Mouse and all the great players that have come through the program are on other pro teams. So I wouldn't say we ever quit, we just took a break from it. And running the league, there's a lot of kids that would like to play at the top level, which the top level is the NXL, right? Like that's where you go to play at the top level. And a lot of kids want to do that. A lot of local teams didn't have the funding. And I could figure out how to get the funding, having the team rep the league helps pay for the entry fees. And get these kids out there on the national circuit and the ability to show themselves and see how they could do compared to the other great players all across the country.
We started this thing in I think April, and I remember the first practice or second practice right before Dallas, driving home from Camp Pendleton all the way back to Phoenix, and I remember the text where I said, Mike, there's no way this team's ready even for D2, but it was already kind of too late, so we put the team in, took I think 8th place that event, and the progression since that has been incredible. The team has developed very rapidly.
We have Johnny Greer, Mike Mesa, and Arturo, and that's 3 semi-pro players. So when we went to Atlantic City in Division II, we could only use 2 of them. Johnny didn't suit out, which is kind of tough to have a guy that's putting 100% in and not let them play. Also, we didn't play the first event of the year. We didn't play Vegas. We played 10-man. We just didn't play the X-Ball. So the issue we ran into is, barring the top 10 teams not showing up, we're not going to win the overall. If you know next season you're going to step up, why not do it mid-season? Take the lumps. By no means did we step up because it was arrogance or we think we're better than everybody. Our 2 events we did in Division II, we had good success. NRG Elite beat us both times, but those were our only 2 losses we had. Besides that, we had 2 ties and then 7, 8, 9 wins, whatever. We just felt there was a consistency there that would translate over to the semi-pro division, and we could use our full roster. Guys we know we're going to use next year, we might as well move up so everybody can play. We didn't plan to get A-Rod and have him on our team like this. A-Rod was involved in a fender bender before the Chicago series of practices. The first weekend we played Dynasty like we normally do. A-Rod wasn't there. I asked the guys, like, hey, what's up with A-Rod? He's not here at practice. They said he was banged up and sore. He wasn't going to be there. Cool, didn't think anymore. The next weekend, the second weekend, the layout was out. Dynasty had traveled to Chicago, and A-Rod was back home, not practicing with Dynasty again. And he said he was feeling better, if he could come out and run with the Aftermath guys.
We came out just to see, if I could. Played with Aftermath, and then Mike, he offered me a spot to play because, I was just kind of feeling wary at the moment and just, had a lot of things going on. So I took the leap, played with Aftermath for the event, and I got a really good offer and was able to really kind of change my life around. So I decided to stay with Aftermath and kind of take on the challenge, and kind of bring in the team up.
Things just kind of morphed, Don't want to get too deep into the details, He had the option after the event to go back. I don't know his side, their side, if that wasn't an option anymore because he had played with us. So he's now playing with us. It's an awkward situation because it really wasn't by design. If we had planned to take him the weekend against the Ironmen that he was out running with our second lines, we would have had him playing with our first team. A-Rod's a killer, right? The dude was an MVP at the Las Vegas event for good reason. There's what the outside world sees of A-Rod and what those of us in the pro division know of A-Rod. A-Rod is one of the nicest dudes off the field, which is great to have. A good team player. And on the field, the guy's just a killer. But really, when he came to us in Chicago, I wasn't expecting a lot out of him. We already have a team. We already have a nucleus. get in where you fit in. And honestly, A-Rod rose to the challenge, brought a lot of professionalism with him, a level that we didn't even have, not including myself. He brings a ton to the table. I think he's one of the most underrated and definitely probably undervalued pro guys.
Playing paintball for 10 years now, and winning world championships and winning tournaments and stuff, I've always been the young guy. So to kind of come into a new camp as being the most experienced player on the team, it's kind of fallen more into a mentor leadership role, and it's more so giving back. I was always the one learning, trying to bring all the information in and just getting my skill and knowledge where it needed to be. So now I kind of see it's passing the torch in a way, because it's being a veteran now instead of the rookie. So you're around, all these young players and stuff, so they need the information to be be successful moving forward. It's interesting. It's a new feeling, because it's like, as you grow older, you just you fall into new roles and new positions and stuff, and it's nice. It's nice being able to say, yeah, you just got to do this, and you see it click, and they learn, they become a better player from it. So it's it's rewarding.
I did two at least!
Right, no, so like the thing is, with that many bodies, like you come in here, especially with your gun down and comfortable, all they gotta do is fucking put guns on you and then they're gonna run you down. So if you're gonna do that, be strong with it. Gun up, because you come here, obviously it's 2-on-4, so at that point you're trying to make something happen. So come in here strong and confident, put this guy in, this guy diving in, you might get two right there, you never know. But if you just dive into a bunker head down, just like you're trying to just live, yeah, you're gonna get iced out. But I mean, you're not supposed to win that situation statistically, but it's like, okay, making that dynamic move, there are probabilities that if you do the right things, that be more in your favor.
Today's the first day of our organized team practice on the new World Cup layout.
We're playing Mutiny and Dynasty right now. It's going pretty good. We're learning the layout, exchanging points with Dynasty here and there, and just having fun on the layout.
We're just learning the field. It's day one, and we're just getting the shots down.
The World Cup layout is really good. It's a traditional Dorito side, and the snake's a little bit off of what we're used to. So it's just, there's a lot of bunkers there. It's going to be hard to guess what teams are going to do on that side.
So we're starting the practice grind, breaking this field down and figuring out what to and what not to do on it.
The closer you got to me, the faster I try to leave, like a mirage, like a mirage. The scars that you don't keep on my arms, I appear empty, like a mirage, like a mirage.
So much more time to perfect our game plan, but we need to figure out the flow and we need to get a good read. And this is one of the best teams we can do it against. So don't get down on yourself, expect, the most, but just be open and learn, okay?
You got to me, the first time I tried.
We got to put the work in, and you know, we got to put in the time. It's not going to come easy, so it's a uphill battle for sure. So I think everybody's up to the task, and it's just time to put in the work and make it happen.
The goal to being successful at World Cup and ultimately at every tournament you go to is just consistency. You know, being able to practice and be successful in practice with your game plans and have those transition over to World Cup or wherever you're at. So that's my goal as a coach, is to figure this field out in the next 2 weeks and be able to take that to World Cup. We're going to practice distortion the day before, which is top level semi-pro team, and, you know, hopefully be able to execute those plans and assert our, you know, game plans and will against them.
Until we win a fucking championship, y'all motherfuckers ain't done shit yet. You're like Al Bundy talking about your touchdowns back at Polk High. Seriously. Look it up on your way home, Peyton. We win because that's what Aftermath does. So go fucking win, man. Set up a game plan. Take some real estate. Send some fucking missiles.